Hi guys, this is Jane Johnson, founder and head father of the One United Body House, helping people know what the journey is and how to do the journey into the heavenly realms and become a mature son of God, a manifest son of God. We've had stumbling blocks as one of our main mandates for many, many years. And this is about how to do the journey. We've got a whole section on the website about how to do the journey. We see that's more important to start with that than what is the journey. Otherwise, you often get knocked off before you even determine what the journey is. So go through the first section of the website, but here's a page that we have on our website called Stumbling Blocks, if you search Stumbling Blocks. But we've actually was shown that God wanted to show us some new ones. And the list is always growing. And I want to share with you some new ones today and then just recap some old ones. A big one, we had a bench meeting and we saw that God wanted to produce many ecclesias. It was almost like a chain of fire. And as a result, he wanted people to have the courage to join an ecclesia or even lead one or create one, so that we get thousands and thousands of ecclesias moving into which then decide where they're going to be in a house. We don't see people stay in ecclesia, but it's a key step where you get to do encounter groups and you learn about governmental actions and seeing. The next one is the fear of not seeing when joining an encounter group. And often we found it hard to get many people. And I think this is a major one we were shown. We all have the fear of not seeing and comparing ourselves with others as well makes it worse because we often don't see in the way they see. So I would encourage you to just push through that one each time you're due to go. Don't let that one stop you. Don't compare. Share what you see and how you see. I see in a very headship function where I pull things together. I often don't see pictures, initial things. I can often just hear a mandate just like that or pull it together from others' pictures. And that sometimes frustrates me that I don't see all those initial pictures. But it hasn't changed over the years. But it's still, I perform a very important headship function, which is needed. The other new one we've seen is how to come from the is to come to the is. As part of coming from heaven to earth, we don't have to wait for that. We don't have to wait for Yeshua. We're constantly coming and creating out of the future into the now. That's a key element. And if you learn all the realms, you'll understand the different realms in the years to come, in the now, and the what was. Sometimes Bill saw one that said trauma from past experience of headship can be a stumbling block to become a king and a son of God. This trauma needs to be healed and the patterns of headship that were imparted to us traded out of. This is to be followed by trading into Yeshua's true headship towards us. So if we've had some bad experience and we don't want to repeat it, and we certainly think, oh, I'm not going to a house, I might have the same thing. Let's trade out of that. There's no guarantee it's going to be the same thing. It could stop your journey. And we just need to really be able to stand up and know what's Yeshua's blueprint rather than run away on that one. So some of the older ones that have been very common are not sowing money or time into the new wineskin, just being a listener at a distance, waiting for your encounter group rather than practicing your mandates on your own journey, so that it's hard to see on your own. You need the group. Not engaging things quickly, but staying in decision. That's linked with the law of resonance. So the moment you resonate with something, if you engage it, you often get a lot more acceleration, and you don't just go into the knowledge of things. And you recall then the encounter rather than the knowledge. A big one is that where Christ is to be our first love and overcoming all with the 7 ecclesias, and putting family and job ahead of Christ as your first love is a big one. We're often in a culture that says, you know, our job or our family is first and all this comes last. But Christ made that very clear to be the other way around. And we usually find that those needs are met at any rate the moment we do that. Not giving your body as a living sacrifice to whatever the journey entails. Remember, it's the soul and the body. Doing the journey for unmet needs, such as community or just joy. That can lead to a very unbalanced journey. Or you're in a group because you just need the community rather than it's where you're led. It's your highest destiny. It's challenging. You're scared of losing that community. That can happen when you get older as well. Or you're just following the joy mandate as opposed to the balance of joy and responsibility. And that's key to balance out those two. We personally formed and were part of a bench very early on, and we found that it accelerated our journey. That can be a stumbling block, waiting and waiting, building up this knowledge. We have a bench on a Thursday morning for Australians, around 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Wednesday evening Eastern time for Americans. You can join, listen, learn. You don't have to say anything, just find out if it's for you. We're needing new bench members for that. Not desiring your destiny early is a big one. Just waiting and compromising. And we've also found your spiritual name can help really focus the journey. So not finding your spiritual name quickly can make you sort of be knocked around all over the place, not knowing where you're going. And a very big one is believing the book of Revelation is complete. There's a huge lot of revelation that gets lost if you think that's all complete. And there's huge theological differences between people on that. So it's certainly not one case or the other. Not seeing the need to become part of a house or a temple, or being satisfied with being a follower or a forerunner. And also getting confused around the father-son relationship, seeing that as the same as follower and a disciple. No, sorry, a forerunner and a follower or a disciple. In a father-son relationship, the father trains the son to do what the father is doing. So it's a lot more significant. It's not just training someone in where they're going with their destiny, their mandates. It's saying you're going to become the son of the father and do what the father's doing. So it's a lot deeper, a lot more specific. and we move beyond that disciple coaching or mentoring people into whatever is their destiny and the stumbling blocks there. Anybody who sees themselves as doing what we're doing on this house, even if it's early days and you don't have a clue, we're interested in dialoguing with you about how we can train you up to be able to get to this point. There's amazing help from heaven. It's really not as hard as it looks. The flow comes if you just say yes, yes, yes. I never saw myself doing this years and years ago. It's quite a surprise. And also seeing as everything, as opposed to journeying through something and not thinking that you've attained it the moment you've seen a concept, is a huge stumbling block we found. You haven't possessed it at the moment you've seen it. And so let's be careful we don't judge others as well in this journey, particularly for things that we haven't judged ourselves for. And that's a key element as well. And so we want to bless houses, bless fathers, and recognize everyone is on a journey of truth, which takes a constant amendment of what that is. And it's like deep calling unto deep. There's a constant calling of what that depth of truth is. It's not just a one-off, this is true, this isn't. And so what we like to say is often that in our current understanding, this is what we see, as opposed to a statement, this is the way it is. And I encourage all fathers to move away from that type of statement that implies that there is no question over things. And it can lead people to a lot of misunderstanding and reliance on things. Look for backup ratification with other houses. That brings greater credibility to what we're all doing. And we don't want a whole load of independent houses. This is the blueprint I see from heaven. So bless you guys. Look at our courses if you haven't seen them. They're free and they're different levels, different types. And I think it'll help you focus your journey a lot more. But there's plenty of free pages as well that would encourage you to come back to the website and see more and more of these free pages. Join our family, our dialogue group, or our chats. Come and build confidence in bringing questions, and we'll build community there. Bless you guys.